Welcome everyone to this video where I'm going to be talking about how not to fall off your wagon. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever said, I've fallen off the wagon? Oh, I've fallen off the wagon. I've got to get back on the wagon. Anything like that. I'm sure you have, or you know people who have. And I definitely used to say it all the time. And now it makes me feel quite uncomfortable, actually, that kind of terminology. And if you use that phrase a lot, it's likely that you feel like you often yo-yo, maybe you're on or off a diet or an eating plan or a good and bad way of eating. You wonder what will work, you give it a go, you're not sure how long to try, and it takes over a lot of your thinking. And perhaps you got on a new wagon at New Year's and already you're finding that the wheels are a little bit wobbly, or you're about to fall off, or perhaps you already have fallen off. You've tried lots of different things and you're just a bit fed up. You're always on or off something, and sometimes you get results, but more often than not, that changes within days, and then you end up having to do the same things again to try and lose weight or get fit or whatever it is, with just no long-lasting results, and you're pretty fed up about it all. So if this is you and you say you've fallen off the wagon or you really relate to that, I'd love to give you some tips so that you aren't going to fall off your wagon anymore. Over the last 11 years, I've been helping people to break free from this kind of thinking and this kind of ongoing cycle where you feel that you're either being good or you're being bad, or you're on the wagon or off the wagon. So the mistake that you make when you're referring to your wagon is that actually you've made your wagon too small, too uncomfortable, and it's just not yours. And therefore the consequence is that it's easy to topple off. And subconsciously, when you're off the wagon, because you don't really like it when you're on it, because it's quite restrictive, you then do things to make sure that you stay off it for a little bit longer. You're not exactly jumping with excitement to get back on it. You've probably tried lots of different strategies, lots of different techniques, it's summoned up lots of different energies, and you go for it, you clamber on your wagon, but it happens again. You fall off and it's just exhausting. So what can you do instead? Well, your wagon is something that you will be traveling on for the rest of your life. So it makes complete sense to make it comfortable, roomy, personal, and somewhere where actually you can see yourself traveling for the rest of your life and you want to be on it for life. So you need to work out what you really want, what will make it sustainable for you. And here's 3 tips that I hope will help. First of all, blur those boundaries. Don't get those really sharp wagon edges that you're either on or off and they're quite tight and quite restricted. You're either being good or you're being bad. Blur the boundaries a little. What does that mean for you? Maybe in the past you've counted calories, you've counted points, and you either have a good day or a bad day because of that. Take all that away, blur the boundaries. What do you want? Could it be something like eating well most of the time? Eating unprocessed foods 80% of the time? Could it be mainly eating very healthily at home, but not minding so much when you're out? What is it for you that would suit your lifestyle to have those blurred kind of boundaries and not make it too restrictive and too obvious when you're on it or off it? Secondly, what are the positive things that you can bring into your wagon, positive things that you can do? So you're not just avoiding all those things I shouldn't do, all those things out there that, I've done, I'm off the wagon, but bring some things onto the wagon with you that you can do that will have a positive impact on your health. Can you drink more water? Can you eat more vegetables? Can you go for a walk every day? Can you stretch after you exercise? Can you stretch when you come out of bed? Can you read a Bible verse in the morning? Can you play a worship song when you're emptying the dishwasher? What can you do? Start focusing on what can you do rather than what you can't do, and that will make your wagon much more comfortable. And the third thing is don't operate in deprivation, but instead operate in freedom. When you operate in deprivation, when you're denying yourself things, saying that you can't have something, then your choices become biased. Because you've told yourself you can't have something, you disproportionately think about that thing and dwell on whether you can, whether you can't, whether you should, whether you shouldn't. When you operate in freedom, that biased decision making is taken away. If you can have anything you want at any time, which you can, and we're actually really fortunate, aren't we, to be in that position where actually we can eat or do pretty much anything we want to at any time. Might not be the best for us, but we can totally. Then it takes away that kind of bias of choice. Then if you want something, you know you can have it. It's not going to run out. You're not going to get a slap wrist. And it makes, hello there, good to see you both. And it makes you make more informed choices and decisions that you want to make. And then you can operate in freedom. So those are the 3 tips I recommend so that you don't fall off your wagon. First of all, blur the boundaries so that it's not as easy to tip over and you don't really know if you've tipped over or not, and the whole wagon analogy obviously becomes a bit relevant. Bring the positive things that you can do with you onto your wagon and think about what you can do, which will naturally push other things aside. Don't just focus on what you can't do, and operate out of a place of freedom, not deprivation. And that, I believe, will just make you see things a little bit differently, and there won't be such black and white, good and bad, on or off kind of days. So this is part of what I teach and what I help people with in the Healthy, Whole and Free course. Our next entry point is May. So far, they've been run on Wednesday nights. If you would be interested in doing a Thursday night or perhaps a Tuesday night, then do let me know. I'd be interested to hear. So just type Thursday or Tuesday into the comment box. If you've done Healthy, Whole and Free and you feel freer, then type freedom into the comments. That would be brilliant. And if you're interested and you want to register your interest, then pop interest into the comments. So there's 3 or 4 things you could write. You could write Tuesday or Thursday if you're interested in different days. You could write interest if you want to be put on the interest list, and you could write freedom if you've experienced freedom in this area. Lovely to see you, lovely to chat, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.